Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about Target and Walmart exclusives and 3 things that need to stop immediately. These crazy things that are happening with these records. Walmart and Target have been very brilliant in coming into the vinyl business, but they need to change a few things and I'm going to point them out, as well as discuss the Mobile Fidelity controversy. A lot of allegations have been swirling around and I'm going to give my take on this controversy. So if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, the notification bell. Everything you do helps my channel to grow. So let's start with Mobile Fidelity, this huge controversy. It started with the Michael Jackson one-step Thriller announcement. They announced they were making 40,000 copies of the one step of Michael Jackson's Thriller. I was very happy initially because I knew this would be a huge title that a lot of people would want. And I didn't want it to sell out. I wanted to make sure I got my copy of it. And to be honest with you, I thought the big controversy was going to be about the artist himself. Should we be supporting someone with the allegations like Michael Jackson has? It broke my heart that that happened, and I like in my heart to think it's not true, but we just don't know. A lot of boys have come forward, a lot of men now have claimed allegations of inappropriate behavior. That's what I thought the controversy about the Michael Jackson one step was going to be, but oh no. It's totally different now. The controversy is the one-step process. And Michael from 45 RPM Audiophile raised the question, if they're making 40,000 copies and they do the one-step process that they claim that they do, how are they going to do it? Because to do that would put the original master tapes through the ringer and be very harsh, because they would have to be run over and over and over again in a way that Sony probably would not allow. So he thought, something's up. So we watched that video and thought about that for a while, and then out of the blue comes Mike from the In-Groove, and he made a video, breaking news. And he said that he has heard, not from Mobile Fidelity, but from people he thought were reliable sources, that it's very possible that Mobile Fidelity has been using digital sourcing in their records, which was really shocking to me, because as someone who buys Mobile Fidelity records and really loves them, I made some assumptions that maybe I shouldn't be making. Let me just show this one record that's now in question. Jeff Beck's Truth. I love the title, Truth, because that's what we're after, right? Anytime I saw this banner, original master recording, for someone like me, I'm not in the know. I'm just a consumer that loves vinyl, and I love Mobile Fidelity. I always thought that original master recording meant that they took straight from the analog tapes and made a pure analog version, a new version of this album. This sounds fantastic. I thought it was pure analog, and it still might be, but according to Mike in the In-Groove, he's heard otherwise. So we are going to await and see what comes out of this. But original master recording, this banner meant to me that something was analog and stayed analog all the way through the process. So that was kind of disappointing. And let me show you this too. This also made me think that much more strongly, because they also have this label out here. It's a silver label called Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. So I thought when they slapped this label on, it meant that it more than likely wasn't the original analog tapes. It was either a digital source or a secondary tape. So I thought, wow, they're really transparent. When it's pure analog, they slap this label on. When it is not the original analog tapes and not an analog sourcing, they slap this label on. So I thought that was their way of being transparent with us. It was an assumption I made. And, let's be honest, we knew in the past that Mobile Fidelity has used digital sourcing before. Take Donald Fagen. This is the Nightfly. There is a one step that I've heard is the definitive version of this record, and this is the wonderful Mobile Fidelity original master recording version of it. It's digitally sourced because it was digitally recorded. So everybody has known that all along, and we weren't shocked by it when they bought the one step. Everybody who bought it, if you did your homework at all, you knew that was a digital recording. Same with this record, Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms. This is a digital recording, and it's now a digital sourced Mobile Fidelity 45 RPM record. And I can tell you, I just got this one in. I have the original Dire Straits record that came out in the 80s, and this one. This one is the definitive version. You've never heard Walk of Life the way you hear it on here. Brothers in Arms. Oh, it'll knock your socks off. It's so beautiful. The guitar playing is incredible. So Far Away From Me is incredible. But you get into Money for Nothing, which was one of my favorite songs in high school. I absolutely loved it. And in the beginning, that very quiet, where Sting is kind of singing, I Want My MTV. You've never heard Sting's vocals sound so good. It then kind of goes into some major drums and guitars and comes into this climatic part at the very beginning of the song where we get into that incredible riff. I mean, it just will blow your mind to have this version of it. It's digitally sourced. We all knew it. So Mobile Fidelity in some ways has been transparent, and maybe in others they haven't, and we still have to find out. So what's going to happen now is Mike from the In-Groove is flying to California. He's going to meet with Mobile Fidelity and talk about this. Hopefully he's going to come up with some good answers, and we're going to know the truth. I think Mike was the proper choice for this because he sells Mobile Fidelity turntables, and he sells the records on his he also sells them in store, on websites, Mobile Fidelity name brand. You know, it's just kind of like when my father-in-law was alive, and he had a little small shop, and he sold Eureka vacuums. You know, he was guilty by association. If anything ever went wrong with the brand name Eureka, he was selling their product, so he had a little skin in the game. So that's kind of the position Mike's in right now. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he have to say. Anything that's going on with Mobile Fidelity isn't Mike from the In-Groove's fault. He was just going by what he thought and what he was told was proper information. So I'm looking forward to all that being resolved. You know, in the end, I would say this, when it comes to my channel and how I feel about it, I have said over and over again on my channel that if digital is done right, it can sound fantastic too. Look no further than a recent video I made about 10 classic rock records that sound fantastic. My 10 best sounding. And this is in the top 10. Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. This is the 2018 version. It's taken from the analog tapes, but made on a high-res digital source, so a digital file. So my daughter has the original of Appetite for Destruction. I think that one sounds better. I have said several times that I think digital sourcing, when done correctly, and they make the right mastering and cutting choices, they sound fantastic. Here's my take on Mobile Fidelity and where I sit with it right now. I kind of think about my mother-in-law. Back in the early 2000s, she was on this huge health kick. She gave me a piece of chocolate cake one time when I was at her house. She said, here's my new recipe for chocolate cake. It's delicious. Try it, you know. And I ate it, and I liked it. I thought it tasted really good. After I ate it and she got the input, she told me, you know what? I told you it's chocolate cake. It's not. It's really made with carob chips and applesauce and all these healthy ingredients. It didn't take away from the fact that the chocolate cake tasted good, but anytime she served that chocolate cake after that, there was just a little aftertaste of betrayal in it. It wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. And that's kind of how I feel about Mobile Fidelity right now. Hopefully that all clears up. I'm not canceling my Van Halen pre-orders. I'm not canceling anything. I still enjoy the records. Even if I find out some of my favorite records are digitally sourced from Mobile Fidelity, it doesn't take away the fact that they sound fantastic. So I am going to leave below these channels links so you can check out what they're having to say about it to get a little more detail, a little more in depth. Please check out Michael from 45 RPM Audiophile, Michael Fremer from TrackingAngle, and also Mike from the In-Groove. Links are below to their channels. You can check out their videos and see what I'm talking about. And now I want to move on to something else. As if this wasn't negative enough, let's go into something. Now I'm going to talk positive too, because these are some really great titles, great records, great music, and I got the first two at great prices. Let's talk about these Target exclusives. First off, I already had this record, but it is one of my favorites that I've picked up this year. This is Unlimited Love by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It is on a clearance sale at Target, 2 LPs, and I got this red vinyl version. I bought the Record Store Day exclusive on silver vinyl, and I thought it was a little noisy. This one's not. Sounds great. So I love having that one at a really low price. I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't on clearance. Same goes with this. This is the Bee Gees, Timeless, the all-time greatest hits. This is the Target exclusive, and this is a record that I wanted to have in the collection, but I never wanted to pay full price for. This was only $12. Now, I already have this record that came out way back in the day. This is Bee Gees' Greatest. But I feel like if you're a Bee Gees and you love the band, but you don't want to have every single album by them, you kind of need both of these because they kind of fill in the gaps with each other. This one has Spicks and Specks and Massachusetts, Gotta Get a Message to You. There's a lot of really great songs on here that aren't on this one, and this one has songs like Spirit and Love You Inside Out. There's a lot of stuff. So I feel like to have both of these gives you a really great Bee Gees collection. And that Target exclusive for $12 comes on beautiful vinyl. You get this beautiful blue vinyl. You get the beautiful clear vinyl. Just really, really pretty. I'm really pleased with it. I had to give these records a really deep cleaning. Anytime you buy the Walmart or Target exclusives, I highly recommend you give them a wet cleaning. You put wet cleaning product on it and then vacuum it off if you can. That is the best way to get a lot of the dirt and debris from the factory and from the paper sleeves off of them. Here's my beef. Let's go back to this Target exclusive with the Bee Gees. First off, and this isn't just for Target, this is for everybody. Quit putting your shrink wrap on so tight. Look at that. The shrink wrap was on so tightly that there's a huge crease, a huge bend. And if the shrink wrap didn't cause that, then the way Target packaged this one and the Red Hot Chili Peppers record definitely caused it. I ordered those two records together. I got them in separate boxes. The boxes were great big huge boxes. They just threw the record in. It had no bubble wrap. It had no inner box covering and protecting this record. It was just out in this big box flapping around. Let's face it, the Postal Service is not handling our records with kid gloves. They're just not. So they need to be properly protected. And Target, if you're going to be in the vinyl game, you've got to learn how to protect these records. So a little beef on that one. Quit putting these records in tight shrink wrap and quit putting them in huge boxes. Now I want to move on to some wonderful Walmart exclusives. Love this album. Queen, A Day at the Opera. I have the box set. I always felt like the white vinyl with this record, even though it sounds the same, a little lacking. I feel like, look at all the pretty colors here on this design. They could have done something else with it. So when I saw Dylan at the Record Spinner show his version of this Walmart exclusive on blue vinyl, I couldn't resist. It's just a beautiful record, and love having this copy of it. So I thought that was fantastic. This is a record that I'm going to show now. I've been wanting for a very long time, but every time I see it in the record stores, it's totally beat up, unplayable, doesn't look good, very unappetizing. So people who are a fan of this band, you didn't take care of your records back in the day. Maybe you do now, Maybe you're one of those exceptions, but based on what I have always seen of this record, yuck. So this is Black Sabbath. We sold our soul to rock and roll. A wonderful record, great Black Sabbath music on here. And this is one that usually from the Walmart exclusive sells out as soon as they get it. It was in stock. I always thought, okay, this doesn't make sense. Look at this cover. And they put it on exclusive green vinyl. That doesn't make any sense, right? Well, I was wrong. When I got this record and I opened it up, I was pleasantly surprised. Take a look at this. It looks beautiful with the label. It's that Warner Brothers label that I always think of Fleetwood Mac Rumors when I see it. Those old Sean Cassidy records from when I was a kid. They did a great job with matching the label. It just doesn't look anything like the outer cover. And they also put this one in really nice polyline sleeves. The Queen record, not so much. But this one is very nice. 2 LPs. Sounds really good. Had to give it a good cleaning. So no complaints about that. Here is where I have a problem with the Walmart exclusives. This is a beautiful record. I highly recommend getting this record for the music. So beautiful. I missed out on the Vinyl Me Please version of Man Across the Water by Elton John. You know, I'll be the first to admit, I thought I only needed the greatest hits by Elton John, with the exception being Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. But I was wrong. This is an incredible record. It's right up there with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, put it that way. And I think this vinyl's beautiful. Here's the negative, and this is where I think Walmart got it wrong. They made the decision, I think because the vinyl came out so pretty, they put it in this kind of sleeve so you could see the vinyl and maybe an impulse buyer would pick it up. But, you know, my goodness, what is this? And what are we supposed to do with it? It's a disaster. I would never keep my vinyl in this horrible plastic. This over time is going to get yellow. If you've seen any of the plastic from the 80s on those picture discs, yikes. This is just a no-no. You should never put a beautiful record or a record of any kind in something like this. This is just a disaster. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with my vinyl. Part of me thinks buy an old copy of Man Across the Water so that I can just put it in there. But, you know, who knows? I don't know what to do with this now. This has got to stop. This is a bad trend. It's wrong on it's just wrong. You should never do this. So, Walmart, don't do this again. If anybody else sees this, don't do this again, because Walmart's not the only one that has been doing this. Also, quit doing the tight shrink wrap, better packaging. Target and Walmart, if you're going to be in the game, do it right. So leave your comments below. What do you think of this whole Mobile Fidelity controversy? What do you think about Target and Walmart? Do you like their records? I want to say one more thing about Target and Walmart. Target doesn't have their own really cheap pressing plant. Walmart doesn't have their own really cheap pressing plant. These records are pressed the same places that the independent record store black standard versions are. The quality is no different. They just use colored vinyl instead of black vinyl. So do not feel ashamed by buying from Target and Walmart, but always, always buy from the independent record stores. So that is my video. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.